Right, so welcome back, everyone. Where's the bloody outro screen gone? There it is. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to another epic podcast with your host, Tamoon25. That's me, guys. That's me. I'm Tamoon25, and welcome back to another podcast with me and the T4 Army. That's right. Welcome back, everybody. We've got some exclusive news. We got some exclusive conversations. We got some exclusive stories to talk about. As you guys know, on this show, we like to delve back into stories which were once popular but now have become dormant, because we like to raise awareness about things that maybe wasn't looked at enough, or maybe you guys have forgotten. We have got with us today as a guest on the show. We got guests. Finally, 2 weeks without guests, and we finally got a guest back on. We've got the infamous Exodus D with us, everybody.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, back at it again.
Big shout out to Rodrigo Gamer for goddamn getting that crown. Well done to you. And also, can't forget those over at twitch.tv. Massive shout out goes out to Slow Cool, jumping in with the first view, the first like, and the first comment over at twitch.tv. Well done to you, young man. Obviously, before we begin, we've got to do a massive shout out to the sponsors, because without them, this would not be possible. A big shout out goes out to the guys over at Cinch Gaming City Keys. And not forgetting those infamous people over at Razor.com. Also, not forgetting the T4 Army merchandise. If you guys haven't grabbed yourself something awesome from the merch store, be sure to head over there right now and grab yourself free shipping globally. That's right, we're doing free shipping globally. Grab it while it's still available, because it won't be long now until we stop. Also, we've got the infamous G2A.com over at Twitch.tv. Keeping it lit, keeping it live with those AAA titles on the cheap. And also, not forgetting those infamous people over at G4G and Streamlabs. Keeping those donations lit, live, and streamlined. Straight to the donations hotline. So if you guys ever want to donate to the live stream, if you ever want to give me any of your hard-earned money from your parents' pocket, then all you have to do is click the links down below and follow the G4G link or the Streamlabs link, whichever one you want, and I will gladly take your cash. That's right, everyone. T4 is here for the money.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
I deserve it. God damn it. I deserve it. Right, anyway. So, we have Exodus D with us on today's show because we've had a bit of issues with having guests on the show, because Exodus hasn't been with us for about 2 weeks. He's been too busy getting on with real life stuff. He's got a job. Congratulations, Exodus. We haven't congratulated him on the podcast yet for getting a job. He got a job, everybody, and finally he's going to take his fat ass to work and earn those dollars. Yes!
Yeah.
We're proud of you, Exodus. We're proud of you. Also, big shout out goes out to Spade809 and Original Connor over at twitch.tv, and also the Sla. The Slamman478 is over there as well. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, you guys are epically awesome for joining me over at twitch.tv. Right. Anyway, we've got some interesting topics to talk about in today's podcast, okay? And as you guys know, with this show, it's all about your interaction. It's all about what do you guys think. I give my opinion. Exodus will give his opinion as one of the guests on today's show. But you guys are also guests. You guys in the comment section are also guests on the show. So be sure to drop what you're thinking down below. There's no right, there's no wrong. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me. We're allowed to have a difference of opinion. It's allowed, people. It's allowed. So let me know what you guys think on these different topics that we're going to be talking about today. We've got the American Border Patrol stealing kids. That's right. APB is on kid alert. So that's going to be an interesting topic. Also, we've got Burger King Russia pregnancy scam during the World Cup series. If you guys didn't know about what happened during the World Cup, Russia was impregnating their women with football stars. Interesting. Also, we got an update story on the Mona Lisa and Pedro and Mona Lisa story. If you guys don't know who Mona Lisa or Pedro is, basically there were two YouTubers who decided to try their luck with a desert eagle and a book. and things didn't quite work out the way they were planning. So we've got an update story on that, and also we've got, last but not least, the infamous Tana Mojo. That's right. Or Mongo, or just retard, as I like to call her. But basically, Tana Mojo decided to throw something called TanaCon, and we're going to talk about it on today's podcast. If you guys want to join in on any of those conversations, please be sure to drop your opinions, your comments, what you like, what you don't like, what you feel, what you don't feel, in the comments down below. I'll be sure to read them out as we go along in the podcast. First topic of the day is to do with families being divided. That's right, everybody. It's a sad story. We're going to start off on a low one, and hopefully by the end of the show, we'll be on a high one because we'll be talking about TanaCon. Commander Rude, welcome to the live stream over at twitch.tv. Thanks for joining me, dude. You are awesome. Right, this story comes from The Guardian, and this is to do with families divided at the border. The most horrific immigration policy I've ever seen. This was reported on by Amanda Holpunch in New York. To do with U.S. immigration law that Donald Trump is putting together to help the Mexicans not get into the country, and even those who are in, finding a way to get them out. Anyway, as immigration advocates struggle to help more than 1,600 children taken from their parents, Trump refuses to back down. I know they call him Trump, but he's actually Tramp, everybody, okay? Remember that. Whenever you say Donald, end it with a tramp. Donald Trump. We want to get that chanting. Hashtag that shit straight away. Before I continue to read this story, we've got a little video to play for you guys about the atrocity, the absolute... I mean, this is ridiculous. This is happening in a developed country, a fully developed country, one of the most powerful countries in the world. This is happening in their country. This is being rooted forward, rooted on. This is being power pushed by the president of the United States of America. Right, we're going to play this video for you guys in full screen, so if you guys are wearing headphones, be sure to turn it up. Let's have a little listen to this. This is from The Guardian. These migrant children are being held in U.S. government detention centers in McAllen, Texas, after being separated from their parents at the border. The authorities insist the facilities are humane. However, audio from inside one detention center has revealed that distressed children are experiencing. Border Patrol agent, where are you from? El Salvador. And you, Guatemala. Children crying. Don't cry, Papa. Children crying. You can read this. Over 2,000 children have been detained in the past 6 weeks. The detention follows Jeff Sessions' zero-tolerance policy on illegal immigrants and asylum seekers.
I have put in place a
looks like the white devil himself.
For illegal entry on our southwest border. If you cross the border unlawfully, then we will prosecute you. It's that simple.
Adults, if they are accompanied by a child, that child is temporarily separated from them as they go through a judicial process.
The conduit
after the parents' legal ended, they were met by, but there wasn't a clear system to ensure this happened. The Trump administration has defended the policy.
DHS will faithfully execute the laws enacted by Congress, as we are sworn to do.
The United States will not be a migrant camp.
Mr. President, don't you have kids?
However, after huge political pressure,
these children are not animals.
We're going to have a lot of happy people.
Trump signed an executive order which allowed families to be detained together, although the orders does not address the children already detained. That was this short video from The Guardian about this particular distressing story, which is absolutely... It's kind of touched my heart a little bit because, obviously, if you guys don't know, I've got kids myself, and just a thought. What's up, Apricot Duper Fruit? Thanks for joining us over at Twitch. And a lot of you guys probably have brothers and sisters, siblings, mums and dads. I mean, just imagine for a second that you were separated from them for no reason except for your immigration status. Surely that is not a good enough reason to be separating families from their children, but any parents from their children. But anyway, let me give you the thick meat, the actual thing you need to consume in order to digest this and give your opinions in those comments down below, and also for our guest today, Exodus D. So, 1 month before Donald Trump's administration enacted a policy that allowed the government to take thousands of migrant children from their parents, the president twice told crowds at his rallies that immigrant gang members were not people, because they're obviously like some sort of alien. Actually, he calls them illegal aliens. I'm pretty adamant. These are animals, quote, he said in May. Over the weekend, video and photos emerged of the cage-like detention centers where children separated from their parents are housed. His comment was directed at violent MS-13 gang members, and he deplored the idea that he had been talking about all immigrants. Today, however, as criticisms mounts about the draconian set of immigration policies, advocates and attorneys are left wondering just how far Trump and his team are willing to go to stop immigrants from entering the country. The most extreme example yet is the practice of family separation, which has seen more than 1,600 children taken from parents. Advocates say the practice had quietly been taking place for months before the government adopted it as a policy in April. The irony is that I was watching this video today about child abduction, children being abducted and stuff, like child abduction cases and stuff. And basically, this video was saying, like, in the US alone, there's over 100,000 children being abducted on a daily basis, which is insane. What's up, Max? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining us over at youtube.com. You know, these children are being separated from their families, and then they're being left in detention centers. And then there was this thing about the missing child thing, and like over 100,000 children go missing every single day in America. That's ridiculous. It goes totally against what this country was founded on. Janet Gelwin, an attorney who has been representing children in Washington state, said, "We have a moral responsibility to take them in. It's international law to take in refugees. That's who these people are. And instead, we are just adding to the trauma that they are going through." Gilliam, managing attorney for the Seattle branch of Kids in Need of Defense, KIND for short, an advocacy group for unaccompanied immigrant children, said children aged 12 to 17 had been comforting toddlers who, like them, had just been taken from their parents. She said children had said they were told by immigration officers that they would see their parents again in a few minutes, but hadn't seen them for months. I mean, in the face of the widespread bipartisan condemnation and warnings from medical bodies about the long-term consequences these separations have on children, Trump and his cabinet have stood firm. The United States will not be a migrant camp, and it will not be a refugee holding facility. It won't be. Trump said during remarks at the White House on Monday. So, I mean, that's the basics of the story. That's exactly what's going down over with APB over in the United States. And the irony is that this is being pushed forward. This is being sort of, this is like a taster of what could possibly happen in the United States if you get a really stupid president. Because there is no reason why this orange retard, should I add, wouldn't sign an executive order to have their own people placed like that. You know, imagine if all of a sudden he's like, oh, there's not enough land for all these people who are already living here. Maybe if you have more than one child or you have more than two child, we'll chuck your child in an immigration bloody camp or some shit. I don't know. Because the third child is no longer human. They're animal now, or as he likes to call them, aliens. So it's very very distressing, and I mean my personal takeaway from this particular story, it's really sad to see. It's really sad to hear about. It's really sad that all of these kids are actually being taken. I mean, if you're a kid yourself, I mean, if if you fall in the bracket of being a child and you get taken from your parents and get placed in some random camp just because of your immigrant status. I mean, someone doesn't become an immigrant. Someone doesn't actually go on that journey of migrating to another country because where they come from, everything is great. They normally do that because where they come from, it's rubbish. Where they come from is actually really terrible. The living conditions is probably really bad. Their job expectation is really shit. Standard of living is bad. Food, water, and all the rest of it that comes with it, and the irony is that, I mean, it's not like I understand what Trump is saying in the sense that you can't just open the floodgates and just let anyone come in. I get it, with gangs and all that jazz. I understand that shit. But the thing is, right? The thing is, people trafficking, one, is a money-making business anyway. Two, with the whole idea of children being separated from their families is just ridiculous. I mean, kids saying that the ABP are actually telling them that they'll be seeing their parents in a few minutes when they haven't seen them in months. I mean, just imagine what those kids must be thinking. Like, they don't even know what. I mean, you imagine if a child's like taken into care or he's taken from their parents because of abuse or some shit. That kid will still end up knowing, oh, my parent lives at this place, or they may still have contact with their parent or see them like once a year or once every 6 months or whatever it is. But these kids, they get taken from their parents who've done nothing wrong except trying to better their life to go to another country, which has prospect for them to have work. And these guys, they're not coming to do work that is like requires a lot of knowledge. They're normally like house cleaners, housekeepers. They're working in the rubbish industry, like refuse. They're working in the lowest class jobs, the jobs which no one else really wants to do, and that's where they're going to get work, and they're working their arse off. They are literally sweating every day, putting in the hours, putting in the time, and getting very little in return. But it's more than what they would get in their own country, which is why they make the move in the first place. They don't come because their country is rich or powerful or has all these resources that their country doesn't have. And again, it's to do with the way that the world works. Like, there are such a small number of powerful countries who have taken raft on the rest of the world and all the other countries, and it's made it like it's the same way, like when whichever country you come from, you will see there is like the upper class, like the rich, and then you have the middle class, and then you have the working class, and then you'll have like the super poor. And literally it's the same respects with the countries themselves. There are countries that are super rich, and then there are countries that are just super poor. And it's just ironic that a country like America, which has got so much going for it, is willing to just say, oh, you know what, forget this, we're not letting anyone in. I mean, Germany didn't do this. Sweden's like got one of the biggest immigration receivers of people in Europe. I mean, the UK, we're just stupid over here as well. We're as dumb as the US, because we're just like, everyone's coming to take our jobs. Trust me, okay? I live here. They're not taking our jobs. They're doing jobs that we don't want to do, okay? They are literally cleaning the toilets I want to take a piss and a shit in, and they're also working in conditions that I don't want to work in myself. I mean, look what I do for my work. The amount of people who I've met who are so intelligent and are like working in a car wash, like they have like a master's degree in English or something, and they're working in a car wash because they're not from the UK, they're from another country. it's absolutely mind-boggling. They're so intelligent, but they reduce themselves to that level because they're just trying to do something with their life. They're trying to make something of their life. That's my opinion. That's what I think. That's what I feel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below if you have an opinion about this particular subject. We have got Exodus D with us in the show today as one of the guests. Exodus, what's your personal takeaway from this particular story that we've been talking about?
Honestly, being someone that has been taken away from their parents at one point in my life, even if it was just for a couple months, it just sucks in general because like you don't know when you're going to see them again or if you're going to see them again. And
so like this story,
you don't know. Yeah.
So I take it this story touches quite close to your heart then, really, when you hear about these kind of stories.
Yeah, easily.
And obviously, I mean, I don't want to delve too much into your own personal life, and I don't know how much you want to actually declare yourself, but I mean, roughly, how was you quite young when that happened to you?
I mean, Ireland was, but I wasn't. I was like 13, 14.
Wow. So obviously you were a child. Yeah, exactly.
I was 15, and Ireland was like 2.
Wow. Insane. And I mean, the thing is, even at your age, like at that time, it must have had a drastic effect on you personally, like in terms of trusting, like just the uncertainties of what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you don't know like when you're gonna go back to your parents if you are, or what exactly happened. You just know that somehow someone either snitched or someone messed up, and it's just something that someone like Ireland mainly couldn't do about it because she was like 2. I could have like if I had known beforehand, I could have tried to find something to do. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends on what the situation is.
What else did you want to say, sorry, about this particular topic?
If they're so worried about them coming to the country, why don't they just capture them and then bring them back into their country instead of holding them basically hostage?
I mean, this is the same thing I was saying to someone the other day. Is if you're so concerned about immigration, close your doors, right? Tell no one can come into your country, right? But if people are coming in illegally, take the whole lot and just ship them straight back. What is stopping them? Surely it's more expensive to try and house, and feed,
try and hold them.
Surely it must be more expensive.
It should,
you know.
Yeah.
You know, because the thing is that these families, they would have been going through some sort of trauma anyway to even go to the extent of having to cross the border in the first place. And then to find that they've crossed the border, to be met by ABP, and then they take your kids from you and tell your kids that, oh, you'll see your parents in a few minutes, and then you don't see them for fucking 4 months or something, or 5 months or a year or whatever, when all they could have done is just take the whole family and just turn them around and say, go back to where you just came from. I mean, you living in America, you get a kind of consensus of what other people might be thinking or feeling. I mean, what do you feel like, you know, with your peers or with people that you meet at work and stuff? What's their personal opinion about this thing that's going on over there at the moment?
It's kind of split 50-50 because some of the friends I hang out with are like for it, but there are also some of my friends that are against it. So it's just it's mixed everywhere.
Okay, fine. So the friends of yours that are for it, what is their takeaway? What is their opinion that they have about it being okay that parents are being separated from children and whatever?
They think that if they want to run the risk to go into the country, then they should run the risk of pretty much being held captive, like by the country that they're trying to sneak into. Like they think that it's okay to just hold them.
I mean, but do they think about it if it was themselves?
I don't think they do think about that. I just think they think about it as like someone that was like, they don't really like see the other side. They just see like that my friends are okay to be here because they were born in America and all that, and they know what to do, but they don't they don't really think about the other side.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that if these people are coming into the country, I mean, do they think that they are taking jobs from other Americans?
They honestly do think that, but I don't. But they don't see like the full reason why they're coming into the country. They just think that they're just here to take jobs from good Americans.
But what I'm saying is that, I mean, surely I'm sure this is happening in America as well. I mean, even probably for yourself personally. I mean, there's the jobs that those people are coming in to do are the jobs that no one else wants to do. Am I right in saying that, Exodus, for Americans?
Yeah, pretty much all the jobs that they're doing for jobs that most Americans won't do, but they still just think that even though it's jobs that we won't do, they still think that they're taking jobs from us.
But the thing is, if those jobs aren't done, surely they would be like, you'd be in a bit of a shithole because, you know, if no American wants to do those jobs in the first place, then who's going to do the job? I mean, for your other friends who are obviously against this happening, what's their personal takeaway from this?
They think that they should just let them go and they think they should let them go, or they should like force them to like get their green card and stuff to be in the country, just so like they can legally be here instead of just holding them captive. They think that they should make them get their green card and all that and visa.
The thing is, right, if they get, I mean, if people are coming into a country and they are getting their visa after they've, because obviously even getting a visa is not like a 2-second thing. It's a lot of paperwork. You've got to prove a lot. You've got to earn a lot. You've got to be clean. You know, there's a lot of things that go with it, you know.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, the thing is, them doing all those, jumping through all those hoops that someone who's born American wouldn't have to go through. Surely they should be giving a round of applause, really, for being able to do that in the first place, surely. Yeah, go on, Exodus.
Me as American, I try not to think about it because it just makes me fucking pissed off and sad at the same time. So I just try to stay. I don't really like watch the news or anything. The only way I get my news is from you, basically.
I mean, the thing is, right, the irony, right, the thing is, the irony that I find with this particular topic, right, is that America, right, as that country, as it stands, you know, what it stands for is the land of the free, the land of the brave, and the land of prosperity, right? This is what the rhetoric is of the word America. Okay, and to be American is to be free. And the irony is that everyone in America is an immigrant.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except for the Indians who were there in the first place, everybody else technically is an immigrant.
Illegally.
Yeah, so the thing is, everyone who's come to the country is illegal there, and they all have come to prosper, to make a better life, to change their outcome, to change their future, and people are still doing that till today. People still do that globally to other countries all over the world. So I don't understand why they all of a sudden, like, and this is what I'm saying, you know, if you have a good president, you know, or if you have a good leader, somebody who's leading from the front, who's got the right sort of mentality of what the slogan stands for, you know, what those stars and stripes stand for, what Statue of Liberty stands for, you know, what, you know, they would not under any circumstance be saying, oh yeah, this is the right decision to be making what we're doing right now.
He's not even a politician, he's a businessman that turned politician.
That's what I mean. You know, it's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger became the mayor of California, you know, it's a bit like that.
Don't remind me.
But you know what I mean? Like he won the vote on one line. I'll be back. That was the only line he used, and he got the vote. You know, everyone was like, "Yeah, we'll give a movie star a goddamn state, a whole. He'll run the state like a boss." because he's the Terminator. Dude, that was a fucking film. It was a film. And then you hear Donald Trump coming into play, like a multi-billionaire, who has like
we gave
his
him a
own...
businessman the whole fucking country.
That's all he is, dude. He's a fucking bit. And the thing is that, like, him, the rhetoric and the mentality that he has is everything is business orientated. You got loss and profit. Everything is loss and profit. And that is not how. That's not how you think to be someone who is leading a people, because you're not thinking about the poor guy. You're not thinking about the guy who's not doing well. You're thinking about only the people who are doing well. If you think that way, well, I don't. I mean, I know for definite that there is no way Trump is going to stay in office for another term. He's 100% he's out, because he hasn't made America great again. Instead, he's made America look like the villain of the whole world. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. I just gave you a little extra just to kind of help you guys along. Let me know what you guys think of your opinions. Moving on swiftly, we got story number 2. Now, this is a little bit more light-hearted. We like to keep things serious, and then we like to make things a bit jokey. We don't like to stay in between. We go one way or we go the other way. And this is the other way, people. This is the other way. This was reported by The Guardian as well. And this was to do with the World Cup. If you guys didn't get to watch the World Cup, what was you doing? The World Cup was insanely good, and I'm absolutely blown away by who actually won the World Cup in the end, considering they started off really, really shit. This was to do with Burger King. That's right. Burger King Russia, to be exact. So the title is Get Impregnated by World Cup Stars and Win Free Whoppers, says Burger King. So Burger King's Russian division has apologized for a social media campaign offering free burgers for life to women who get pregnant by football players. That's right, everybody. I didn't just make that up. That's a real thing that happened in Russia. So here's the meat of the story. The irony is Burger King has apologized for a poor taste and campaign posted on its official Russian social media account. On Tuesday, the burger chain announced a promotion on VK, the Russian equivalent of Facebook, offering women 3 million Russian rubles, which is about $47,000, and a lifetime supply of whoppers if they get impregnated by football players competing in the World Cup. Shortly after announcing the campaign, they pulled it due to a backlash. Burger King posted a statement on VK apologizing and said it had removed all materials related to the promotion. However, evidence of the stunt lives on in screenshots. That's right, everybody. They may have deleted it, but it will never be forgotten. So this is the actual post. It's obviously in Russian. Guess what, guys? I don't speak Russian, so I can't tell you what it says. But the breakdown is Burger King's Russian division has a history of horrific publicity baiting stunts. Last year, it made fun of teenage rape victims in an online marketing campaign. That's right. You didn't just hear me say that by accident. That's exactly what I just said. Okay? They made fun of teenage people that were rape victims. Okay? The fast food company used the likeness of Diana Sorigiana, who was raped when she was 16 at a house party as part of a buy one, get one free burger offer. How the hell does that even correlate? How does that link? I don't know. And it's not just Russia. Burger King has a global track record of misogynistic marketing. In Singapore, the company advertised a 7-inch burger with overtly sexual imagery and a tagline saying, "It'll blow your mind away." The model featured in the 2009 advertising campaign later came forward to say she had no idea her image was going to be used in that way. That's the story, everybody. That is the story. That is the meat of the burger. Questions. I mean, the thing is, we talk about Russia all the time. Two of the countries that are very powerful and have the most strangest things going on in their countries. I don't know why that's the case, Exodus. Explain to us, America. But I would love to have someone on the show who's Russian, because literally the two worlds are so fucked up, and they always have clashes between each other, Russia and America, but they're so similar. They do so many similar things. Anyway, my personal takeaway from this, when I read this article, I could not believe that this was factual first. I had to go a little check. I had to little run around, have a little look, make sure I wasn't reading into what I'd read. And basically, I was blown away by this. I mean, literally, I'm just thinking, like, what woman would even take the challenge of trying to find a footballer to fuck her in order for her to get a lifetime amount of burgers and $47,000? The only person I could think of that would even consider this would be someone who was really fat, wanted to get really fat, and also wanted to be kind of well off while getting super fat on burgers. I mean, I can see the plus side. Like, you would never. I would see the plus. You're not a woman, Exodus. You don't. You're exempt. You can't be impregnated. But the plus side. The plus side to this story is that obviously you would never have to cook ever again in your whole life. But the downside is you die pretty quickly, and you'd be super fat when you die. The good thing is that your kid would have a lifetime supply of burgers as well, I guess. But Exodus, what's your takeaway from this particular story from Burger King, Russia?
I mean, Russia itself is a weird ass place. So, I mean, I don't know. Russia's fucking. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did it, because there are a lot of people that would do anything. And plus, also, I'm not trying to say they should do this, but if they also impregnate like a famous soccer player, they can get a lot more money out of the soccer player than they can from burgers.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, what? But apparently, like, the deep dive on this story is that what they were saying to Russian women was to sleep with not Russian footballers, but like global superstar footballers like Neymar,
I know what I'm
Messi.
saying. Like, imagine they like impregnate like Ronaldo.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? But the thing is, I mean, we know the Russian women are very, very good-looking girls. There's no question about it. The assets are in the right places. But the problem is that they always have bad teeth. I don't know what they're eating over there. Maybe too many burgers. I don't know. But the teeth is always the problem. Do you think any of the women actually took this advertisement seriously? Because I didn't read of anybody taking the actual challenge on.
That's a good thing. I mean, I think that if they're like super desperate for money, I think they do it.
You think?
But like, they have to be like really, really, really desperate.
I mean, I'm just thinking about with Russia. The things I generally consume from Russia as entertainment on a regular basis is car accidents. Car accident videos are the absolute legends over there. I mean,
yes,
they have zero understanding of the impact of car accidents.
They give zero fucks.
They just don't care. I mean, I don't know how insurance works over there and stuff, but Jesus Christ, must it be high, because those accidents that they have over there is insane. Literally, people flying out of cars and shit.
I would be more surprised if this was like in like another country, but Russia is already crazy enough, so it's not really surprising that they did this.
You know what would be hilarious, right? If the men who are married to the women were like, "Go on, do it! I want the burger for life. I want the burger for life.
Give me the burgers and money."
Oh God. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback, it's a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this story?
Whoa.
What do you think about the first story? And anything in between. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. I love to read your comments. And if you post your comments live while we're on the podcast, I will shout them out as they're being typed. Anyway, let's move on swiftly to the next story. That's right, everybody. We've got more stories for you guys today. And the next one is from the Daily Mirror. If you guys don't know what the Mirror is, it's a newspaper in the United Kingdom. It's a bit of a tabloid newspaper, so sometimes you can't really read in too much into their stories. But this one is a story we spoke about before. This was to do with Mona Lisa and Pedro. If you guys don't know who these two people are, they were basically two YouTubers, who boyfriend and girlfriend, who basically decided to try this challenge, where they would use a Desert Eagle 5.0 to see if the bullet would go through a book, an encyclopedia to be exact, at point blank range. So the guy held the book in front of his chest like this. The girl held the gun in front of the book and fired one shot. And we all know what happened after that. If you don't know what happened after that, just read the title of this. So anyway, YouTube star Mona Lisa Perez jailed for shooting boyfriend dead while filming stunt they hoped would go viral. I mean, it went viral, but in the wrong reasons. Anyway, Mona Lisa, who was 19, believed Pedro Ruiz, who was 22, would be shielded by a thick book as she took aim for close range in front of onlookers. So there was actual witnesses to this going down. I've even got a video to play for you guys so you can get a kind of idea of what was going on. So if you guys have got headphones on, turn it up, and if you haven't, then just leave it what it is.
I don't need to be
He's got rockets.
And I also got this. It's about to get lit.
So that was the intro to that video that was going to be posted. The actual video of him being shot dead never got released. It actually got taken down by YouTube themselves. I mean, the irony is that any kind of stunt like this, I mean, since this happened, YouTube have had to change some of its policies on gun violence and stunts, basically. So a lot of the people who used to do stuff like this, actually their channels have been deleted or taken down, because YouTube doesn't actually allow people to actually show this kind of content anymore, which I think is a good thing, because it helps other stupid people not do stupid things who are already stupid anyway. So I think in that sense, YouTube did do a good thing, and they deserve a clap for that. But everything else YouTube is still doing wrong, okay? Fix all that shit first as well. Anyway, just to run through the remaining of this story, she was a mum of two. She's now 20 and later pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter, which is serious stuff. So during a court hearing in Minnesota on Wednesday, Judge Jeffrey Remick said Perez would serve her time in 10-day increments over 3 years in accordance with the plea agreement recommendations. Perez is also banned for life from owning firearms and will be on probation for 10 years. She also agreed not to seek any financial gain from the case. Anyway, an hour before the first fatal stunt, Perez wrote on Facebook, "We are in the process of making a Pedro YouTube channel. Oh man, it's going to be sweet. LOL." She added, "All the crazy stuff will be on his channel and mine will be our family life." He had shown Perez another book he had shot, and the bullet did not go all the way through. Another aunt of Ruiz, Lisa&Pedro, told a local news station her nephew was a daredevil. She said, "We called him our little daredevil." Well, he's not daredevil anymore. He's now dead devil. I mean, that was a pun. Sorry. So that is the story. If you guys didn't hear about this before, we did talk about this on a previous podcast. It was sickening then. It's still sickening now. But basically, this girl is getting the way she's serving her sentence is they've broken it so that she doesn't actually do the full time in prison in one hit. She basically goes into prison for like a certain amount of time, and then she comes out because of the kids, and then she goes back in again, and then she comes out, and she goes back in again, and she comes out, back in, out, and she does that for 10 years, which is a bit weird, but that's the plea deal for her pleading guilty. but there are so many circumstances with it as well. But that was an update I just wanted to give you guys on the story, because the last time we spoke about this, the trial was still ongoing, and there was no actual verdict of what was going to happen with the girl. And I think, if I remember correctly, Exodus, I was asking you guys what should be the sentence for this person, and I think you said 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And she got 10.
Close enough.
So anyway, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we spoke about this topic before anyways, and I didn't really bring this in to have a conversation about as such. But for those of you who don't know about it, obviously feel free. But I mean, Exodus, is there anything you wanted to add to this story from last time?
I mean, I didn't know that they did it in front of the little three-year-old girl. That's gotta be traumatizing for her.
I mean,
like, it's already bad enough to like have a kid watch a scary movie, but it's another to accidentally kill her dad in front of her.
I mean, the thing is, right, is with this kind of stuff, this is the degree that people are willing to go to kind of become that famous person on YouTube, you know, and the fame is so dangerous, because it's like, you know, rather than like you concentrate on school, you concentrate on college, you concentrate on university, get a job, you know, like get something to back up your life so that you have something to fall back on. People are headhunting to become famous on this platform, you know, whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, you know, and they're putting that in front of their own health, you know, just to create that shock factor. They're just trying to create that thing that's going to make like people like, wow, they actually did this crazy thing. But to what cost? And like as this story proves, is the cost worth it? Is the outcome worth it? And I'm sure if you ask anybody about this particular story, they're not going to tell you, yeah, they did a good job. I can tell you that much now, okay? There is no way anyone's going to say, yeah, you know what happened was like, you know, it was fate. No, man, it wasn't fate, okay? It was literally stupidity, okay? It was people who just could not.
I was retarded.
I mean, even Exodus, he's like trying his best. You know, he's finished college and stuff. He's trying to get, he's got a job and he's working hard. He's trying his best to become someone who is reliant on himself and stuff. You know, and can help his mom and his family out and stuff. And you know, he's trying to do something which everyone tries to do. I do the same thing. I go to work and, you know, I earn money and that pays for my life. I don't rely on this thing. I don't try to make this thing like so huge that this is what blows me up. You know, this is just a hobby. You know, I do this for fun. I do this because I enjoy it. And you know, anytime that you put this thing ahead of your health or your well-being or anything like that, or your family or your or reality, like the reality of, for example, like paying bills or having a real job that is actually earning you money so that you can actually pay for things in real life, because YouTube doesn't pay you money unless you're really, really big. And to get really, really big, trust me, I mean, I think we did a podcast about the statistics of how many YouTubers have got like over 1 million subscribers, and it's only like 2,000 YouTubers globally, which is nothing. You know, that is nothing compared to how many people actually consume YouTube content. So, you know, there is a lot of misconceptions with YouTube. And I think, you know, a lot of people need to wake up. And I speak to people a lot who say like, we even have the Chester, who started his channel over at Twitch and on YouTube. And even him, he started, I mean, he got up to like 800 subscribers, and he's given up now because he just can't stand the implications of his privacy and all these kids that come onto his stream and are just trolling him. And not only that, there was another guy who was part of the affiliates program called what's his name, PK Ripper, and even him, he stopped to like 500 subscribers. He stopped. He just can't. He found a girl and he's happy, and YouTube became the second thing in his life. And I think a lot of people need to realize that, you know, this YouTube thing is so small. It should be so small in your life. It should be like, it should be like, you know, when you go to the gym to work out to keep fit. That's how you should see it. You know, you don't go to the gym because someone pays you to go to the gym. You go to the gym because you want to stay fit, you want to stay healthy, you want to be in shape. That's why you go to the gym. You pay to go to the gym. So it's the same thing with YouTube. It shouldn't be something that you're doing because it gives you something back. You should do it because you just enjoy it. That's my opinion anyway. What about you, Exodus? What do you think about this whole shenanigan?
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, like I said, something I was advised is don't do it because you need to. Do it because you want to.
Yeah.
And if it's not something you don't want to do, you just don't do it. There's no point in doing it.
I mean, like you're saying. I mean, like you're saying, this thing took place in front of their daughter, and
yeah,
you know, it's I mean, that's
traumatizing for her.
That's just insane, man. That kid must be like, I can't even imagine what that.
I feel so bad for her.
Anyway, that's the story update of Mona Lisa and Pedro. Let us know what you think about this in the comments down below, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. Let me know what you guys think about this particular topic, this story, and obviously about any other topic that we spoke about today on today's podcast, whether it be the first, second, or the last, this one. Let us know what you think. We'd love to read your comments, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, moving on swiftly, we've got the last topic of today's podcast. That's right, everybody. We've arrived at the end of the game. And this was reported on by The Verge, and this is to do with TanaMojo. That's right. If you guys don't know who TanaMojo is, well, then you are extremely fortunate. Unfortunately for me, being a YouTuber, you get to know a lot of these people because I don't know why we get to know them as well. So TanaMojo, even though I'm still debating on how her surname is Mojo, but anyway, did something very, very interesting. She was a retard in the first instance, still a retard now, but did something just to prove that she is actually a retard. And this is the title. YouTuber's anti-VidCon convention, TanaCon, was such a disaster that fans are comparing it to Fyre Fest. That's right. That's exactly what they're comparing it to. And you know, one thing I didn't actually realize, and I hate body shaming here, all right, and I'm not body shaming, so, and people are going to be like, no, T4, you are, is that I didn't actually realize how overweight TanaMojo was. Because all the times that you see her, she looks like she's like this like hot blonde girl from like America, from California, but she's actually quite a chubby girl. Again, I'm not body shaming or anything. I'm just saying it was just a bit of a shock because all the stuff I see about her, it's like, the thing is, I think is that maybe she actually does a lot of extra editing during her content making. I don't know, because when I saw videos from other angles, from other YouTubers' content, she looked a lot bigger than what she looks like. Or maybe she's pregnant. Ooh, conspiracies. Anyway, let's carry on. Over the weekend, while VidCon, a massive yearly gathering of creators, for creators and fans, unfolded in Anaheim, California, YouTuber TanaMojo attempted to hold her own convention nearby. It did not go as planned. The 2-day free event was set to open June 22nd, and it promised concerts, talks, and meetup opportunities featuring the likes of Shane Dawson, Bella Thorne, Casey Neistat, and many more. Instead, TanaCon was shut down on the first day after a reported 20,000 people showed up. Before being cancelled outright online, angry fans have branded the con the new Fyre Fest, evoking Ja Rule's disastrous 1% music festival. That's right. TanaCon began as Mongoose response to her own negative experience with VidCon. Actually, just to clarify this, because The Verge isn't telling you the truth, is TanaMojo did this because she didn't actually get invited to VidCon. That's why she actually did this. This is the reality of it. The Verge is lying by not saying this bit. But in a nearly 80-minute video posted on YouTube channel called Why I Won't Be Attending VidCon 2018, a rant, in April, she explains that VidCon had refused to give her a featured creator badge. Can you believe that? I mean, you imagine. I mean, I think Tana
How
Mojo
dare they?
how many? I think she's got like 5 million subscribers or something. She's got quite
No fucking clue.
big.
Never watched her before.
She has got quite a bit of subscribers, but they refused because the thing is they don't want shitty influencers to come to the event. They want people who are proper. So anyway, which affords attendees extra security measures during multiple events. Mongoose says the refusal prevented her from moving around the conference discreetly, instead forcing her to travel directly through crowds of fans, which resulted in mob situations in which security ultimately asked her to leave the premises due to safety hazards. Well, then you should have just paid for the security. Anyway, a joke about Mongu holding a meet and greet in the parking lot across from VidCon eventually spawned the idea for a formal convention. In an interview promoting the event with Forbes last week, the 20-year-old says that she planned the entire event over the course of 40 or maybe 30 days, at the start of which she had no lineup or anything rented, absolutely nothing. Mongu told the publication, "I'm a pretty last-minute person, but this was extreme." Mongu says she was heavily involved in the planning process, down to the color of the cups at creator parties. "It's mind-blowing that I have to pay attention to every little detail," she said, "but it's my name, it's TanaCon, and if anything bad happens, bad security or whatever, it's on me. So I've been putting my heart and soul into making this the best that it can be." Well. Let's fast forward a little bit, okay? We'll fast forward. In a Drama Alert interview uploaded later that first day, Mongu explains that the hotel event space was originally intended to hold 5,000 people, and the event had initially sold 4,200 tickets. The team did not anticipate so many extra attendees showing up, let alone an alleged 20,000 people, despite the fact that it was billed as a free convention. Fans had the option to buy a $1 general admission ticket or £65 VIP tickets. Of course, when that happens, exactly, when that happens, anyone waiting in line to get in is now going to be halted by this crazy riot of people pretending that they have tickets, bringing fake tickets, rushing the gates, jumping over people, throwing VidCon stuff. So we stop letting people in, she said. This was a really interesting post. If you guys don't know who this guy is, his name is called Plain Rock 124. He has got the most interesting YouTube channel. He's a Chinese guy. He does very simple, basic videos, but they're just so entertaining in the sense that he's such a strange guy, but a likable guy. So this is where I find, like, he's very blunt. Kind of reminds me of what is he called? Sherman, not Sherman. What's his name out of The Big Bang Theory? What's his fucking name?
Sheldon.
Yes, he's just like him. Exactly the same. Okay, if you met him in real life, I'm sure that's how it would be. Anyway, let's just play this little video from his Twitter feed. This was so funny. It's totally made me crack up. So basically, he has this tendency of doing things like this. Like, he'll go to like a convention or to whatever it is. He was a VidCon as well. And what he ends up doing is, like, if things aren't as they say they're supposed to be, he starts to like he does chanting basically. He will start to chant like refund, and this is what he's famous for. He's famous for this chant, and he started chanting refund, and everyone started following in suit. And he's done it on another video on his channel as well, which I thought was that was the first video I ever watched of the guy, and it came on. It was on trending at one point. That other video, and that's how I knew about him beforehand. But absolutely hilarious what he did, and his editing style is very interesting as well, and his camera work is not great at all. It's like super amateur, but I think that's the bet. That's the that adds to the.
That adds to the comedy.
Yeah, not even the comedy, but the authenticity of the video. Like, you know, like it's not made up. He's not like a professional filmmaker. He's just a random dude in this random place, and he behaves as a customer who is not being represented as a customer. Like, he's not being treated well, and then he shows his frustration just like any normal person would, which is quite interesting. He doesn't follow the crowd in the sense of, oh, you know, he's a famous person. He just says whatever he feels. It's hilarious. So those who made it into the event didn't fare much better than those waiting outside. Attendees described barren halls with little to do, set in a building that was not designed to hold in thousands of attendees. I wasted $150 on TanaCon. It's one hallway, one big concert room, and no activities. Tweeted one. No creators are walking around like promised. We stood outside for 4 hours just to be treated like animals. Others complained that the gift bags, get this, the gift bags were the best, which were only included with purchase of a VIP ticket. That's right. $65, by the way, guys. This is what they got for their $65, and were promised to be worth a quadruple the price, $260. Fuck off. Anyway, were laughably sparse, save for small items like a wristband. They got a nice wristband. Also, they got a condom with the brand Tana condoms. Given the original purpose of TanaCon, security had no intent. Had to eventually ask people to leave panels and on-site events due to safety hazard. So basically, for $260, you get a wristband and you got this condom. Lucky you. Even creators scheduled to appear at the event were puzzled. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. I'm for. Did TanaCon get cancelled? So, do I still have a meet and greet? Tweeted Sarah Basker. Okay, sorry. Jokes aside, what's going on with TanaCon? I have a panel at 3. Is it still happening? Tweeted Ricky Dillon. Shane Dawson also put, I don't blame Tana, but I do have some serious questions for the people that organize the event. Overselling tickets, not having enough water, and letting people burn. It's not okay, and even though it's not my event, I promise I'll make up to you. I'm so sorry. So basically, Shane Dawson was there, and he did this documentary on TanaCon.
That was an amazing series.
It was so good. It was so good, and it showed the full story. It actually showed the real, the actual, the sort of plan of action to actually make it this bad on purpose. You know, so TanaCon literally was a con. That's what it was, you know. And the thing is, even till today, like, the reason I bring up these stories, and people think like, oh, well, Tifa, why don't you talk about relevant topics that are happening right now? Well, the reason is that these stories just get forgotten about, and like, she still hasn't been made accountable for this happening to all of these people. You know, more than 20,000 people came to that event, and nothing's happened. We haven't heard anything.
It was exaggerated. There was only
it was exaggerated.
There was only like 15 or 12.
But even if there was only 15, Exodus, that's still too. That's like 13,000 more than what was able to be there.
Yeah, true.
You know, and that at the end of the day, like, say for example, if you join a pyramid scheme, or someone says to you, "Hey, dude, if you invest $20 in this thing, you will get this in return." You know, there's an accountability there. You know, now that's one thing. Now imagine you go to a show. Now imagine you go to see, I don't know, say you want to see Usher in concert, or Justin Bieber, for example, in concert, right? You'd be paying big bucks to go and see your famous artist to do some singing and shit, and you'd be with all these fans. And then imagine if you turn up there and it's a parking lot, and only a certain amount of people can attend, and you've already paid your ticket, but all these other people are going for free. Dude, that's called being conned. That's the way I look at it. There's no other way to look at it. And the thing is, what the problem I have with this kind of thing is that people on YouTube, especially those who are big creators, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about people who are big creators, like big, like over 1 million subscribers. They have a massive level of influence. They're able to influence people like crazy. They can do all types of crazy shit being at 1 million subscribers. And it's so sad that they, rather than using, and this is what Shane Dawson proved in his documentary, rather than using their powers or their level of influence for the good, to actually create a better community, a better world, a better place, you know, they don't. They're scamming everybody. They're literally scamming everyone. I mean, I mean, even me, I'm such a small YouTuber, and I have my merchandise and stuff, and I tell people, you know, buy your merch, you know, it's really good merch and blah blah blah. And some subscribers have bought merch from the store, and they love the merch that they've got, and they've sent pictures on Instagram, they've sent me pictures on Facebook, showing me them wearing their t-shirts or whatever they've bought from the store. But it's just really sad that such big influencers are willing to let hundreds of thousands of people down and just make themselves look so dumb. And there's still people who are still like backing her and saying like it's not her fault and all this shit, when Shane Dawson's bloody documentary proves that it's all her fault. Her and the whole team, they're all to blame for it. And I mean, I hate to try and to say this, but she should be facing prison time. Okay, it should be the same as a bank who tells people they're a bank. You put money in it, and they tell you, actually, I'm not a bank. I'm just a guy who's just taking your money. You know, it's called fraud. Okay, and it should be the same thing. Okay, she should be going to prison, or she should be facing jail time, or something really bad. You know, something really like there should be a consequence for this kind of shit being put on. You know, I mean, VidCon. Those guys, they're the brothers that run VidCon. They have been doing that. They've been doing it for years, and they started tiny, and then they got bigger, and then they got bigger, and then they got bigger. You know, this girl did this in. That's the thing. Yeah, she put this on in 30 days. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, what did you think about TanaCon, Exodus?
I kind of figured when she said it was going to be free, I kind of figured you would have to pay for like upgrades and shit, or like VIP and all that. So like I knew that even if she said it was free, I knew it wasn't going to be free. So I'm like that, and then also for the fact that like she said all this shit like a month before she did it, and like that's like it takes months and months and months to plan shit like this. It doesn't take like a month. It takes months or even years to plan something like this. So you can just tell from the get go it wasn't gonna be like the best thing ever.
No.
The thing is, it was doomed to be failed from the start.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, the thing is, the only reason she even came up with this idea, the only reason this plan even came into action, was because VidCon refused to give her a creator's badge. That's the only reason this even came into manifest. She was like, they don't want to host me as a creator. Fine, I'll make my own version of VidCon. It was revenge. You know, it was just to show like, oh, I have these many people who will come to just see me alone But she didn't. You know, this is how big-headed these people get. This is what really annoys me with YouTubers. They're just so out of touch with reality. You know, they're just so lost in their world of fame that they just don't remember what shit smells like because they're just so far up their own asses. So dumb. That's my takeaway from it. Exodus, what's your takeaway from it, young man? What do you think about it being a failure? I mean, obviously you said you knew it was going to be a failure from the get go, but I mean,
yeah.
do you think there should be more repercussions for Talent Mojo?
I mean, yeah, she should just like either pay everybody back in full plus extra for damages, or like go to jail or something.
I mean, do you think her paying people back makes up for what happened?
I mean, it doesn't completely make up, but it's a start.
Did you see some of the pictures of people who were sunburnt and stuff?
I did. I saw that from like Jump Alert and Strange Videos. It was.
I mean, did she?
And
it
was in the middle of summer when it was like 100 degrees.
That's what I'm
outside.
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, did she not even realize that it's California in the middle of
She lives
summertime?
out here.
It's fucking insane. I'm telling you what. Putting people's health
she
at risk.
fucking lives out here and all this.
It's just dumb. I just don't understand it. It's just
it's ridiculous.
It's totally bizarre. It's totally ridiculous. She
and she did it at a hotel.
Yeah. The thing is, I think people, her putting children, because really her fans are kids, at risk like that of the level of sunburn. I mean, you imagine if some of those kids, right, if they grow up and some of them get cancer, who are they going to blame?
Tana.
I mean, being exposed to the sun for the amount of hours, 4 hours some of them were out in the sun for. Like, literally fully exposed. No shade, nothing. Just, there's the sky, burn me.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I was just really, it's, I bet you she voted Trump.
Honestly, she probably did, to be honest.
She just seems like the type that would vote Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been done for so many different things, like niggling things like about the N-word, about some other shit in the past. But this one, this should be the final strike. I don't see how this person can make it back onto YouTube, though I hatefully regret that she probably will. But I haven't heard anything else about what is happening to her next. There is nothing, even in this article from The Verge, which was released on June the 26th, there has been no further reports. But the thing is that we shouldn't let her. This is what my show is all about, is not allowing this to be forgotten. Okay? This is the whole point. Tell everyone. Share the video.
That's why you wait
Tell everybody.
After the story's forgotten about to report on it.
That's what I do
people,
every
oh shit,
time.
that happened.
That happened, dude. Not only did it happen, people actually were affected. There were real people who were really there and who really got fucked up because of this one person. Let me quote what she said, okay? Let me quote what she said so we don't get it mistaken. So she says this, okay? She says, it's mind-blowing that I have to pay attention to every little detail. She said, but it's my name. It's TanaCon. And if anything bad happens, bad security or whatever, it's on me. So I've been putting my heart and soul into making this the best that I can. Your best is not even close.
The other thing is too, like, when it fucking failed and shit, she was saying that if anything goes wrong, it's on me. When it failed, she blamed the fucking guy that was helping her organize.
Yeah. And he was part of it, but he said to her,
but it wasn't all of him.
He warned her that they were selling too many tickets and there was going to be too many people there. And then she was like, who cares?
Fuck it.
But I guarantee you, just like with Logan Paul and the Suicide Forest thing,
It's just gonna blow over.
It's gonna get forgotten about. It'll be like as if nothing happened.
That's what T4 is for.
And this is why I'm here. I'm here to keep reminding you what these people did and why they did it and how they did it and that there should be some sort of repercussion. I get it. I completely get it that everyone should be forgiven. You know, all people should be forgiven. I understand that, and I'm for that. But at the same time, I think if you've done something and you've been found out to have done something, just like the first story that not the first one, the last story we were talking about with Mona Lisa, you know, she's gone to jail for that. And again, it's because of YouTube. TanaCon, to some degree, you could say, has caused cruelty to children and hasn't faced any kind of repercussion, which is extremely, extremely disappointing. Right, so remember the 22nd of June when TanaCon failed the world. Never forget it. Hashtag that shit. Get it out there. Let's get this trending. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining us, Exodus, as always. Big shout out goes out to Exodus D for joining us as a guest on today's podcast. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Exodus is going to be back hopefully on a regular basis, weekly now, hopefully with us on the show. He's found his headphones, everybody, and this is the main reason why he's not joining. We're going to we were going to have Tara on last Friday, but unfortunately I didn't do the podcast on Friday, so she missed. So she might be joining us this Friday possibly, so look out for that. That should be quite interesting as well. And also, just to let you guys know who are watching us live, or if you're watching this video on playback, if you would like to feature as a guest on the show, just like Exodus D, because you have to have a special invite to be able to join the podcast and be one of the guests on the show, and give your opinions live, you can. All you have to do is be a subscriber on this channel called the T4 Army. You also have to be a subscriber on my main channel called Tamim25, and the link's in the description if you can't find it. And also, you have to leave a like on the video. If you're watching us over at twitch.tv, all you've got to do is be a follower over at Twitch, and you can join from either Twitch or YouTube. But there is only one small thing you have to make sure, and that is that you are using Discord. You need to be on Discord in order to be able to join any of the podcasts. And if you can do that, then you can be a guest. Anyway, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for joining us over at youtube.com. Big shout out goes out to the guys over there. Thank you very much, guys, for giving your support and watching the show. And also a big shout out goes out to the guys over at twitch.tv, everyone. They are literally just running it over there at the moment. It's insane. So thank you very much for you guys for joining us over at Twitch. And that's pretty much it. This is where we're going to end today's show. I just want to say a massive thank you to the sponsors as always. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Big shout out goes out to Cinch Gaming, City Keys, and not forgetting those infamous people over at Razor.com. Also, don't forgetting the T4 Army merchandise, guys. If you haven't snagged yourself something awesome from the T4 store, be sure to do it today. We got the merchandise, t-shirts, we got the pants, we got jumpers, hoodies, sweaters, we got everything. Head over there right now and check out what we got in the store. Free shipping worldwide. If you live in America, this is the time to do it. And if you live in Europe, believe it or not, you actually get the cheapest shipping of everybody. So if you live in Europe and you're a fan and you want some merch, order it. Also, not forgetting g2a.com over at twitch.tv, keeping it lit, keeping it alive with those AAA titles on the cheap. And not forgetting also G4G and Streamlabs, keeping those donations lit, live, and streamlined straight to the donations hotline. So thank you very much to everybody who's ever donated to the live stream. You guys are awesome and you keep me going. So if you ever want to donate to the live stream, the best place to do it is G4G or Streamlabs. The links are in the description down below. But that's pretty much it. That's where we're going to end today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. That's right. No, we won't. We won't be back tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday. That's right, everybody, because I keep thinking today's Friday. It's not. It's Monday. We'll be back on Friday with the regular podcast time and day, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll be here. The podcast will be, as always, the same sort of time as it was today. Hopefully, you guys will join us on that show. It's going to be lit. Just to give you guys a heads up on what we're going to be talking about on that show, we have got Fisher, Indiana, IKEA gunfire, Trump Muslim ban, travel ban, vote, rice gum in Hong Kong, idiot racism. We've only got 3 topics actually. Exodus, find a topic if you want us to add a topic to that. There's only 3 there.
Okay.
I think their topics might be quite big. That's probably why. But those are the topics for this Friday's podcast that's coming up. So if you want to join for that conversation, be sure to be here or be square. But until then, guys, as always, stay safe, stay awesome,
and peace.
And peace.